Okay guys, let's roll. Hope you had a great Christmas day. I had a nice peaceful one. It was really good. I hope yours was equally pleasant. Right, lot to do, so let's get through it fast. I've got a bottle of Woods' rum I've got to say goodbye to. Yeah, I've already made a start, and so I want to give it a good send-off. Right, we've got to talk about King Charles's speech, haven't we? Yeah. Now, I'm a constitutional monarchist. Yeah. I don't think it's the greatest system in the world, but it's a damn sight better than having a republic with someone like the warmonger Tony Blair or the clown Boris Johnson as our president. So I'll stick with the monarchy for now. We'll have to see how King Billy does when he takes over from Charlie Boy. And Kate Middleton will certainly be easier on the eyes than the Trout Queen consort Camilla, and I'm going to be talking about her in a second. Press pause, Paul. Okay, I'm going to play a video now, and you may see it with or without audio, it depends. I keep getting copyright warnings and stuff like that, so I might have to remove the sound. But what does this remind you of? Stand by. Well, I don't know about you. I thought I was watching the introduction to a new Harry Potter film with them singing at Hogwarts. I've read all the Harry Potter books several times, in fact. Pure escapism. Yeah. If you haven't read them, read them. Right, pause. Okay, guys, let's talk about my involvement with King Charles, shall we? King Charles was born 2 months before me. He was born into privilege with a silver spoon in his mouth, and I was born, in the words of Roger Daltrey from The Who, with a plastic spoon in mine. I was born into, I won't say it was grinding poverty, but it was poverty. 2 different backgrounds. So there's Charles, 2 months older than me, and yet we both wind up in the same place at the same time, on board ships like you see there in our image. You know, those who follow know it's a ship I loved during my time in the Royal Navy, HMS Kettleston, M1153. Anyhow, I'll read this article for those of you who are visually challenged. So what could Prince Charles and the Green Arrow possibly have in common? This was written in May 2007. Well, the image gives us one clue, and if you can click on the Green Arrow profile, there is another dead giveaway if you should choose to read it. At this time, my identity was unknown. I was just known as the Green Arrow. That was my pen name. Yes, the Mob, the Andrew, the Royal Navy. We both served on ton-class minesweepers or hunters out of HMS Lochinvar in Scotland. So I did meet the Prince of Wales. No, but I had a pint with a man who drank with the man who served with the Prince of Wales. That was a play on the words of a song that used to be out there. I danced with a man who danced with the girl who danced with the Prince of Wales. Some older viewers might remember it. Well, something like that. Well, at the time, Prince Charles was commanding officer of HMS Bronington. What happened to that ship was disgusting, considering it was once commanded by the future king of our country. And I was the sole radio operator on board that beautiful image above HMS Kettleston. The tiger tails on top of the bridge reveal it to be a mine hunter. Greatest days of my life, etc., etc. A bit of detective work should soon reveal my identity. Yeah, a lot of people were looking for me then from both sides, left and right, to find out who the Green Arrow was. I wish I'd stayed anonymous now, to be honest, after what it brought to my family. So what has this to do with our future king? Well, naturally, we in the squadron were all interested in what sort of man he was, and so when our new boatswain's mate was transferred to us from the Bronington, we pumped him for all he was worth about old Big Ears himself. Well, it seemed that Prince Charles was much like our own very well-loved skipper, capable, fair and fun, who in all honesty as young men we would have died for. Boarding suspected gun runners in a foresight can be a little frightening, I can assure you. So us ton-boat guys were a tight lot, and if you did not fit in, you were gone, regardless of rank. He was good. Yeah, that's true. Officer or rating, if you didn't fit in with the ship's crew, you didn't last long. You'd be gone literally in days, in weeks, if not days. So I've always had an interest in our heir to the throne, but sadly from my early days as an admirer, I have had to review my opinion on the man. Quite simply, he changed, and not for the best. I first had my doubts about him when it was revealed to the world via the leaked content of his mobile phone that he wished to be a Tampax so he could be carried around in Camilla. I remember also reading that Camilla would never be known as Queen. She would always be known as the King's consort. But no, she's Queen Camilla now. They lie, 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 lie. But the now this I found distasteful. But the cuckolding of his slapper's husband and supposed friend, cavalry officer Andrew Parker Bowles, I found beyond the pale. He cuckolded his friend. It was disgusting. Then he went on to marry Diana, knowing he didn't love her, and he still loved someone else's wife. Leaving out the talk, leaving out that I talk to the trees but they don't listen to me business, there then became this obsession with Islam. He dared not come out and say it, but it was there. He stated that when he ascended to the throne, he wished to be known as Defender of Faiths instead of Defender of the Faith, which is the true and only title for our king of our country. Please note, only now, people are starting to pick up things that people like I was saying back in 2007. Yeah, they didn't listen to us then, though I don't know if they'll listen to us now. Then I am pointed to a site by one of our agents that reveals a lot more light about Prince Charles and his links to the cult of the Ted paedophile. Robert Topman wanted to know this. Is Prince Charles a convert to Islam? Read this article on the weblog of Daniel Pipes and see what you think. 1 second, I'm going to get that. Okay, I'm going to leave this link in the description, and you really want to go and see it and read it. I see it was updated in 2022. It had been up since 2003, updated 2022, so it's fairly accurate. And there's some really interesting stuff in here about Prince Charles and Islam. Okay, I'm just pausing now and again, but the link will be in the bottom. Rather good joke there. Prince Charles has decided to visit the US to combat America's failure to appreciate Islam's strength. You've got to feel sorry for the Queen. She's never going to be able to retire. Right. The text by Andrew Alderson tells how the Prince of Wales will try to persuade George W. Bush and Americans of the merits of Islam this week because he thinks the United States has been too intolerant of the religion since September the 11th. The Prince, who leaves on Tuesday for an 8-day tour of the US, has voiced private concerns over America's confrontational approach to Muslim countries and the failure to appreciate Islam's strengths. Yeah. As I said, there will be a link in the bottom but we got to push on with this article. There is just so much here that you are going to want to read if you want to take an interest in our king. Pause. Okay, guys, back. So is Prince Charles a convert to Islam? Read this article on the weblog of Daniel Pipes and see what you think. One last possibly interesting thing about my time on board M1153 call sign GSP with the strange events of the night of September the 18th, 1970. I will always know what I was doing that day. The bosun's mate I referred to earlier was also the Kedleston's diver. His name was Bootwortley. He knows the truth. I'll tell you about that story another time. The Royal Navy of England hath ever been its greatest defence and ornament. It is its ancient and natural strength, the floating bulwark of the world. Pause, we got to move on. Okay, guys, we're over here with the transcript of Charles's speech. Yeah, and this speech is very similar to speeches made by his mother back in 2008, 9 and 10, where she said that we have to welcome people from all over the Commonwealth, and I'm going to be showing you how many people we are going to have to welcome very shortly. He speaks about other religions and how we must all be tolerant, but this is the bit. As I meet people of different faiths, I find it enormously encouraging to hear how much we have in common, a shared longing for peace and a deep respect for life. If we can find time in our journey through life to think on these virtues, we can make the future more hopeful. Yeah, Christians have nothing in common with Mohammedans. Christians love peace. Mohammedans need and thrive on war. But this is the bit here. And he lost the page there. It was a pilgrimage with a purpose. It was a pilgrimage with a purpose, heralded by angels that there should be peace on earth, the prayer for peace and reconciliation, for doing to others as we would have them to do to us. Right. Doing to others as we would have them do to us. We know what they do to us. They drive into our people celebrating Christmas, visiting Christmas markets. We know what they do to our young girls. We know about pack attacks against our young men. Now, perhaps it really is time to talk about treason and sedition and go for the Republic. Pause. Okay, guys, time now to look at the Commonwealth. It was talk of the Commonwealth of the Queen back in, 2009, that prompted me to write the article when I said that I would much prefer to see the Queen's head on a pole than on a postage stamp. And I might be starting to feel the same way about King Charles. The Queen said, and Charles has said, we've got to accept the people from the Commonwealth. So who we got to accept? These are the countries from the Commonwealth. A couple of ones of real interest here are obviously Pakistan, Bangladesh, India. Yeah. These are where most of them come from. So, how many people? If you're a member of the Commonwealth, your citizens have the right to either settle or apply to settle in the United Kingdom. And we talk about the small boats being a problem. The small boats are only the tip of the iceberg. Most of the people from the Commonwealth come in legally, yeah, and once one is in, because of leave to remain, after they've been here 5 years, they can then claim benefits. The Lotus Seat has provided some good graphs on what happens, how they come here, they'll work, earn a bit of a living, but once they've been here 5 years, they can then claim benefits, so they stop working, just live off the benefits, send money back to the countries where their arts really lie, that they try to bring to our country. So how many can we expect to come there? There it is, guys. 2.7 billion people have the right to come to the United Kingdom. Yeah, via the leave to remain. Of course, when they have leave to remain, they're still not British citizens the way that you and I might be, but they can stand for public office, they can stand for government, and in the case of the Reform Party, there's a Bangladeshi living here under the right to remain, leave to remain, and he's standing as a candidate. So if anything, we've got to do something. Ben Habib and Advance UK are going to have to do something about this if ever they get into power. I doubt Nigel Farage will do anything about it. He depends too much on Islamic money, doesn't he, to stop it. Okay, let's get back to the opening scene. Back in the bunker. Sorry if this video was all over the place, guys, but I wanted to get it out quick because I've got to say goodbye to my dear friend today. I've got a bad feeling she's not going to be about long. And you know what happens the last time I drank a bottle of rum? I start playing silly love songs. Get hammered, fall on the floor. And do it all again the day after. Okay, bye guys, good luck. Have a fabulous Boxing Day.